Hello everyone, I'm Longtro, here to submit one last Splat 1 run to SGDQ 2022, that being All Scrolls, which is a very interesting, slightly longer category that actually plays through all the world and gets all the collectibles in the game and gets to show off more as a result, and a lot of different like movement and optimizations and whatnot. I'm a personal fan. This run that I'm showing off was the former world record for probably like a few weeks at most. The current world record now is a 107.02 by Hydrus, and this is my 107.12. Still a fairly, it's a pretty decent time. I still think that a 106 should be very reasonable in this category. It's just like I'm focusing more on Splatoon right now. But Hydrus puts way more into this category than I do. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit of an any percent Andy myself. But going over like basic Splatoon mechanics, we're starting off with the Splattershot Junior, and you fire out ink from the Splattershot Junior, and you go back into your ink to recover your actual tank. You can throw a bomb there, and it helps break the boxes. Basic squid, unsquid, go through grates kind of movement. Nothing too special. And as we go over the next couple of minutes, we have to go through the intro cutscenes, which is just a fairly basic starting point. But the All Scrolls world record used to be held by Movefish and Tones back in the day. They had like 108s and 109s. They were fairly optimized for their time, was kind of the thing. All Scrolls can't do Theo Skip because Theo Skip is one of the tricks that they got discovered in 2021, saves 55 seconds. This category can't do it because the collectible, the scroll, is halfway through the stage. So you can't actually skip the stage. You can do Messiah Skip though, and you will be seeing that in this run. It also does not have World 4 Skip. But back in the day, Movefish and Tones both had fairly good times. They were 108s, but they were on the English version, and on English, you actually lose 55 seconds to Japanese in this category just because there's way more text. So you convert those runs and they're like mid 107s back in 2016. It's actually pretty crazy. That's why I personally got the feeling that this category could still drop a lot more, but we'll see. It's fairly difficult. World 4 is pretty punishing and we do have to play it. But Captain Cuttlefish is just giving us the rundown right now that I can definitely read. I know what's going on. But yeah. So in every single stage in this game, there is an item called a scroll. It's usually just in a far out corner or in some kind of hard to reach spot. And each scroll has like a bit of lore about how Splatoon games go down. Unfortunately, since Japanese save such an absolutely absurd amount of time, it's not like we actually get to see the lore, or if I'm able to read it, I guess. It's like almost a minute. So, just going through level 1 with a fairly standard opener. We only have one sub weapon right now, the Splat Bomb. We don't have Seekers or Burst Bombs yet, and we will not for a while. So you're fairly limited on your movement options. It's more so that level 1 is more a target test, if you ask me. I don't know how that killed. I kind of like snapped around too early after I hit the two guys, but cleaning up all of these enemies here, then you hop up to this part of the pillar, and the scroll is in this box up here. And then from there, now that we got our scroll, we can go to the end of the stage. Our goal out of the first couple of stages, after we're done level 2, we want to have 100 power eggs so we can unlock Seekers. And each of the sub-weapon upgrades are 100 power eggs. We just need both and no other upgrades for the speedrun. So we're just trying to get that out of the way as fast as we can. So we're taking caution, taking like better lines just to make sure we get enough power eggs to make it work. And there you go, that's your level 1. Not too shabby. And now we're going to be going over to level 2. Level 2 has a new optimization called any percent cannonless. There is a normal cannonless cycle, which will use the right side of the end and like tries to skip using the cannon on this ending wall by like hopping around this moving platform and inking the top part of the wall. You can actually make the same cycle that any percent does while still picking up the scroll, but it's way harder, and I don't actually get that in this run. I know Hydra's does though. That was a optimization that I found myself. It's not the hardest thing ever. It's just that back when I got this run, I literally had found that optimization like a few days ago. So I wasn't very practiced with it yet. Was my problem. Oh, and horrible aim moment. Yeah. So aim like that really doesn't matter that much in All Scrolls if you're going for the normal cycle, just because it is a cycle. But we picked up our scroll for level 2, so now we're good to go. And now we can go up the right side of this wall. 90% cannonless is fast enough that you can go up the left side of this wall with that strat. Try to get it in future runs. You can see I lost 6 seconds to my sub there because of it. It's a fairly big time save. And is one of the things that really makes 106 just way more doable. But now we had enough power eggs at the end of that we can unlock Seekers. Seekers paint a straight line of ink in front of you and are useful for clearing large distances and taking out some enemies. And we'll be using them plenty in this stage. Using these nice long Seeker lines to just power through all this. And we got these ink rails here, just shoot and go forward fairly fast as well. Kind of got caught there, but it's not a huge deal. That is just insanely bad shot RNG. So you've probably noticed, but as you're shooting out the hero shot, it has like a pretty nasty spread to it, and sometimes that spread can lead to extremely bad scenarios in a speedrun, where some of them are quite literally unrecoverable, depending on like what cycles you're doing and whatnot. That's not one of them that was back there. That's just oh hey, I didn't break any of the boxes, so now I have to fix it. But shot RNG is a common thing that's talked about, and yeah, it's pretty bad in this game. You will lose runs to it. Well, we got our scroll. That's our level 3. And now we're going to be heading into the first boss, Octo Stomp. This is actually nice since I have the hand cam here, so I can explain RFGs without having to grab my gamepad. Because the RFG, or Rapid Fire Glitch, is a glitch that exploits the fact that every time you're shooting in this game, if you change sub-weapons, it fires 1 extra shot of your hero shot. So, what that means is that if we constantly change sub-weapons on the D-pad, we can fire out far more shots than you really should be able to. You know? So what you can do is aggro the stomp to go down, and then the rapid fire glitch, I'm pushing my fingers back and forth to constantly go and press different buttons on the D-pad, switches between the subs, gets out a lot of shots, and does a ton of damage. That's one of the nice parts about hand cam in this game, is that RFGs just look insane. But Octo Stomp is extremely simple. Just jumps towards you. Less path each time to climb towards it, but it's also extremely generous in how you're able to climb. So, it's not that bad. Make sure to actually grab the scroll here. It's very easy to miss that scroll if you've been playing only any percent. I've done it before a lot, I can't lie, but it's a 10:08 World 1, it's pretty sloppy overall, but it does the job well enough. This PB right here, it's honestly like, some parts of it are good, some parts of it are really not. But it was record for a bit, and it's only like 10 seconds behind the record now. I just feel like this category is improvable. Oh well. Next up we'll be going into level 7. Level 7 is a bit of a cycle-based stage with a lot of straightaways, which Seekers are perfect for. We're trying to catch a fairly generous cycle halfway through the stage to get to the scroll, but you honestly have a fair amount of time throughout the stage to make mistakes and still get there. Like a few seconds worth. So it doesn't really matter if you make a couple mistakes here and there in this one. You can get down into here and grab that scroll, then you just have to wait for this platform to go around. And go through the center here. But now that we got our scroll, we can just do a fairly standard any percent stuff just to get to this end. The cycles will be a little bit different, and in all scrolls, the very end cycle with these twinicles that are spinning around is actually way worse. It's like far more hazardous, so what you do is make sure this Seeker goes a bit further. It scares the twinicles so that this guy right in front of you doesn't shoot you. Because if you don't scare that twinicle back there, he will stop your jump. And you will die. So, kind of important to make sure that guy does not troll you. Grab our scroll, and now we're going to go and head into open level 5. Sorry. Head into level 4. We open level 5 now because we want to have burst bombs for it. And we don't have enough power eggs to unlock burst bombs yet, so we'll come back to it fairly soon. Five will actually be the last normal stage in World 2. This is level 4. Got this first section with twinicles. You throw a bomb, they all get distracted, and you can take them out. Although I did it fairly sloppy. And now we have this section right here of 5 twinicles. Take them all out, not too bad. I'm like so zoned out right now, holy. Yeah, you have to take out that twinicle usually to actually grab that scroll reliably. You could technically skip it, it's just not, like, it's not reliable. This is a really sloppy start. I didn't even realize I'm 14 seconds off sub, dude. If this was any percent, I'd be like plus 10 right now. Anyway, we'll be going into level 8. So in other categories, you can do something called the Octoling glitch, which uses an Octoling to actually finish the level for you, since they have very similar data to the player. Unfortunately, the scroll is on the left side of the stage, and when you try to get an Octoling to super jump to you, going down the left path, all of the lines are terrible. Like, it's super, super hard to get an Octoling even close to the Zapfish. So we cannot do it in this category. Which, I mean, is fine. It's not like the biggest deal. Just go to this rail. It's not like it really loses all that much time. It's just a little annoying, you know? All Scrolls in that regard is like far more trickless than many other Splat 1 categories. Besides the fact that, yeah, Messiah does work in this category, but it's a lot more movement optimization than anything. To be good at this category, you have to have like extremely good movement and mechanics. And then in level 9, our scroll is down there behind that little stairs. In this intro stage, we have these boxes there. Kind of messed up the seeker angle, but it's no big deal. And now we have 100 power eggs, so we'll be able to get burst bombs before the next stage. Whew. But there's your level 9. Next up is level 6. We want to have burst bombs for this one because of the fans. The fans, if you hit a fan with a burst bomb, it instantly goes to full speed instead of having a slow startup. So it's important that we get burst bombs unlocked here to do this. It will prove most useful. As you can see, just throwing a burst bomb to get those fans started is very fast. We can't do it for all of them because the burst bomb uses about 35% of our ink tank. You can't actually throw out 3. What is this movement, my guy? That was horrific, but it's okay. Oh, is this my PV? I'm just looking at this now like, gross. But it's fine. It's still gonna look a lot cleaner than my current all missions PV right now, because all missions is a 3-hour category where mistakes happen and you just must deal with it. Because it's inherently not consistent in many ways. Like, my current PB in all missions is 13 minutes off my sub. Now, hopefully I could fix that soon, but you know, it's just what it is. But anyway, that's level 6. We dealt with the fans. Those ending fans, you want to, like, shoot them 3 times to get them to the correct height. Not 2, not 4. Make sure it's 3. Got our scroll. Now we're going to 5. And now in 5, we wanted to have burst bombs for these, because when you throw a burst bomb at a sponge, it instantly grows to full size. So we can use this knowledge to quickly progress through a lot of these sponged areas far more efficiently than what your shot can do, because the shot actually is very, very slow for a lot of sponges. You can see how long it just takes a shot to grow the whole thing. I knew that wasn't going to go in. Oh, bit of an incident there. And then we're going to use this bomber right here to shrink the sponge a bit, and that lets us actually get down there. Then we can do a lot of sub snaps there. You pull out a sub weapon to hop over a corner, and it'll let you keep your speed going across the corner just like that. It's way faster. It'll save a lot of time from small optimizations like that, but it looks really good with the sponges. Of course, I didn't actually save time in the stage because we had a bit of an incident, but it's okay. That genuinely just looks sped up. What? That whole section just looks sped up as I'm like snapping the burst bombs and everything. That doesn't look natural. What was that? Okay. I'm just... whatever. This is Octo Nozzle. Octo Nozzle's gonna have these little tentacle belly buttons, which you have to do RFGs to take out, and then you throw a bomb at the tentacle up top and RFG to take it down from the bottom. You don't actually have to climb up this boss. And it's starting out with just the one little belly button, and then it's gonna have 2, then it's gonna have 4. The main challenge of this fight is making sure you don't run out of ink as you're throwing this bomb up top, because it's very easy to actually run out and have to go back in once the tentacle's already exposed and lose a bunch of time. That's what it is. But there you go. The start of good things. Nozzle looking not too bad. Then we have phase 3 right here. 4 of these to take out, just trying to recover ink as we go between them. Take it down. Recover a ton of ink there, just so you have lots to RFG with. Big recovery. And there you go. Make sure to grab your scroll. You're out of there. I'm ahead? This is... oh my... okay, that was actually a really good fight. I'm ahead, though. With that world, too. Okay. I need to work at this PB soon. Holy. That looked like such a sloppy world, too. What did I just watch? Okay. Anyway, we're going to be going into level 10. A normal looking level 10, not using Fuyo skip. Just since we have to grab the scroll, we get to see how this level is intended to be played. OMG, that's so crazy. So yes, burst bomb this end and go to this pad. We're taking a blast to the past. You can throw that burst bomb to that rail early and then you can just hop over without having to do a lot of the normal routing. Take out both of these twinkles. I'm pretty sure there's a bomb strat that Hydrus does there. I need to learn that. Both of those bombers there, then you can squid on squid here to grab the scroll a little bit faster, hop around. It's just, that is cool movement with that rails section there. I will not lie, it's pretty sick. Good sub snap, man. Nice ledge. Then you use this Inkzuka to go in a circle and take out all of these enemies. Not too bad. And then, oh hey, this is where we would Fuyo skip to. How about that? That's crazy, bro. Just imagine if the scroll was at the end of the stage. Oh, it'd be so beautiful. It'd be so beautiful. But no. And you know what? That's okay. But anyway, we're going to be going into level 12 now. We'll be looking at my possible time saves. Like, why do you have 16 here? Back when I got this 107.20, I was not confident with Messiah Skip. I used to, like, really despise this trick. This was before the sub 50 grind for any percent, so I've now gained a ton of confidence with it. Ready to go for it. But on level 12, we got all these flutters, and then I'll explain Messiah Skip as we get closer to it. But we're going to go on the left side here instead. You'd usually go to the right and go around that one flutter, but instead we go to the left because the scroll is over here. Activate this rail, bang, box, scroll. No way. But right here, we're going to be using a metal rim next to these boxes, and we're going to be able to get a jump off of one of the corners there, and that'll let us hop to this little metal pole that actually has collision. Like, oh, there it is. Hop to the metal pole that has collision, then you can go up to this top part. That skips having to go around and down there to grab a key, which saves about 12 seconds if you get it first try. Now you may have noticed, oh hey, you got it third try. But that still, like, saves time, that's the thing. You only really start breaking even at about 5th. Or like 6th, 7th, I don't actually know. I think it's around 6th. But, so you get a third try. You get a fair amount of time save out of it. That was third try and I lost 2.7? Oh. Maybe it's like 8th or 9th with how I'm doing it now. I may have lied earlier. Anyway. That's cool skip level. Now we're going into Black Belly Skate Park moment. Now, okay, you maybe think, Black Belly Skate Park, easy stage to walk through. No, actually, in All Scrolls, there's actually like some very sketchy stuff that goes down at the end, because there's going to be one of these Octolings shooting at us as we're trying to get up this little ledge to get to the scroll. And it's like, this Octoling right here can ruin your day. If it gets really good shot RNG, it'll just laser you and you will die. And dying sends you to the start of the Black Belly. So, not ideal. Not ideal. Unlock level 13, go to level 15. And level 15, usually need any percent you do a strat called Geyser Jump, which goes down the left side of the stage, but the scroll is on the right side of the stage, so we actually just have to go to the right. And end up doing a very intended path as a result, just because of where that scroll is. It just makes more sense to actually use the grate as it was meant to be. Then we can take out this striker right here. And there you go. Beep beep. Your package was delivered. It's true. Anyway, we're going over to level 13 now. Now, in any percent, 13 really isn't too bad. In All Scrolls, this stage gets extremely weird because the way that we have to pick up the scroll and then get back onto the cycle only really gives you about a second of variance. If you make any more than like about a second or two of mistakes, you're not making the cycle and you're going to lose 8 seconds. So you really have to hustle in this stage. And that's not easy because of all the like the moving platform stuff you got to do. But it's just what you have to do. So the scroll is in this back box over here. But we're trying to only lose 1 cycle overall doing all this, which is really hard to do. You have to get onto this platform before it starts moving again. Then hop over here to make the cycle. Now, I kind of botched the movement there, because I don't feel like I'm really going to save any time. Because usually you would want to get down the center path. That's not happening. So, we're going to be waiting and doing an extra cycle here. Not the biggest deal. Just a little slow. Next up will be level 11. 11's very straightforward for grabbing the scroll, because it's like not that far from your 90% path. You literally just have to go around one corner, fall down. So this stage is like practically the same, except you fall down and lose like 8 seconds. And because it's practically the same, I don't understand how I lost 5 seconds here in my old PvP. What? That doesn't make sense. What did you do? Do the strafe around the twinkles there before they actually see you. And that orange box over there has a scroll, but this is all invisible paths. So you go around, ink this down, pick up your scroll, and hop around. Very cool. Take out all the enemies. Now you want to make sure you actually delay that a little bit there before the squeegee aggroes. Because if the squeegee's facing that ink when you're shooting, it'll aggro. And we're playing on version 1.0, the version where squeegees are extremely fast, so they will ruin your day. They will ruin it. You won't have fun. There you go. Grab your time save. Get on out of 11. So now we just have boss 3, which is basically just an auto scroller. But once we get through that, we're looking alright. Then we'll be going into World 4, my personal biggest weakness as a Splatoon 1 speedrunner, because I'm a bit of an 90% Andy. My World 4 knowledge is a little more limited, let's just say. But yes, this fight is against Octowhirl. Octowhirl works by spinning around and charging towards you. You basically just have to make a stop path for it to slow down, then the tentacle will be exposed and you take it out with a rapid fire glitch. That's it. It is really just that simple. And you do this 3 times. Because would it really be a Splatoon boss if you didn't do something 3 times? Like, all the normal bosses have 3 cycles, and Octavio's subwoofers are all 3 times. So, you know, it's always 3s, dude. Why? Unless, of course, we get like stuff like Splat 2 Octo expansion, where we start having like 5 phases for Inner Agent 3. That fight's silly. Getting it first try in a speedrun is like the most annoying thing, I swear. I usually get it like 2nd or 3rd, but that's just a tangent. I guess it's a kind of important tangent because, like, what's really going on here? I'm rapid fire glitching and I'm getting this boss stuck. That's kind of the thing I'm struggling on. I'm trying to like make a better PB for my all mission submission right now, because I have like a 3:05 PB right now. I kind of want to get closer to 3 hours, especially since my sum of best is 252. But I'm struggling with Inner Agent 3 right now. If I can improve my consistency there, I can definitely drop by a few minutes. Because I've been like way ahead going into it, and then I just have a bit of an incident, and it's like, ah. I've had 3 total runs finished at like high 305 range, you know? Just because I keep having stuff happen. It's like, it's so annoying. But anyway, we picked up our scroll there. That's boss 3. I'll stop going on a tangent now because we're about to go to World 4. Okay? Now we're gonna go into World 4. Starting out with level 18. Sleepy moment. There's actually a strat you can do here where you throw a Seeker overlapping with this World 4 start cutscene, and it can make it hit level 18 and then lock it, which is super cool. I do need to learn that at some point. I see Hydrus do that, and I feel pretty inspired every time I see it. Anyway, here's level 18. It's got a bunch of these spinning platforms, and the scroll is at that orange box on the side. We're near where that launch pad is, so we're just going to be going on a bit of a ride around. It's basically a matter of catching cycles on these spinning platforms and going where you want to be. Ooh, how'd that not hit the wall? Using the spinning platform to get across, and then we can distract these twinicles with a burst bomb throw. They'll get distracted by it enough that we can grab this key and hop across. And that'll do her. And then from there, we have these 2 octolings at the end. Pretty simple. Grab their key, and then we're out of here. There's your level 18. And then we're going to do 16 next, after we get a bunch of dialogue here. This is probably most of the World 4 time loss, text-wise, because this goes on for a while. And that's way, way slower on English. We're going to unlock level 19 over there. We'll be jumping back to that later. And then we're going to go into 16 now. Going to use Seekers to hit these fans a slight extra little bit. And just trying to make a path, and Twinicle's messing with us, but it's okay. Sixteen's a pretty tricky one. Just because a lot of this movement is like messing with the fans, really. And we use this Seeker here to scare the bombers. And this lets us get past them a lot better. Without them having thrown too many bombs at us. Because that'd just be a little rude. And then we will hit this fan over so we can get onto this platform. And then the scroll is just up here. We'll expose it now, and then ink our way over. We can leave most of these enemies here. They're not really that big of a deal. That's our level 16. Fairly slow overall. Ran out of ink at a couple of spots. Cannon was really bad. It's a common trend with my World 4s though. Need to work at it more. But next up is level 17. This is one of the hardest stages in this game. There's going to be a lot of Octo Snipers trying to stop us and in our way. And they're overall just really annoying. This first one isn't too bad, but it'll change pretty quickly what these snipers can do. We throw a bomb over there to take out that sniper, and then we hop across. The bomb also breaks the boxes, and then we can go down here to grab our scroll and hop across this little rail to skip the intended path. Making sure you don't get hit during all that. Because if you do, there will be problems. Ooh, having some troubles with the Octo Snipers here. I got some really bad shot RNG. As I was trying to climb that wall, I got one that like really far drifted to the side and I wasn't able to actually climb it. So I had to like kind of dance around, throw a burst and figure it out. Well, snipers are annoying. They'll cut off your movement options. But that's just what it is. Now we'll unlock 21, that'll be our last stage that we do. We'll go to level 20 instead. Here in level 20, it's another time at Bluefin Depot. Nice pause. This time it's Octolings instead of Octo Striker. And the scroll is pretty close to the end. And I have a bit of an incident here, if I do remember correctly, where this is my biggest time loss in the run. Because what happens here is essentially when you're on an ink rail, if you get hit by like a bomb partial explosion or if an enemy shoots you directly, you'll fall. And that can lose you a lot of time. As you can see here, this enemy throws a bomb, I get hit by it, and I fell all the way down. I didn't actually catch myself, so I had to go back onto the pad, hop around again, and only then am I able to go to the end. And yeah, goodbye time save, because that is 10 seconds lost for that one. Not ideal. Not ideal. But you know what, like here we are, my best possible time is 107.02, and if I'm gonna get a 107.12 at this run, I gotta start playing pretty well. So we gotta start like manifesting after that mistake, you know? Like, no more big mistakes, no more messing around. Let's get in there. Got level 19 here. Thing about 19, in some other categories, it's a really difficult cycle stage, but since we have to pick up the scroll, we end up having to do the normal cycle regardless, instead of the fast cycle. Because there's no way to make the fast cycle while still getting the scroll. It's slightly out of your way. And because of that, this is a very easy stage in this category. You can make mistakes and it will cost you nothing, basically. Good FPS, splice. But yeah, we got a scroll in 19. Hop over all these platforms. These ending platforms are where the cycles are. Well, you just do not have to worry about it in this category. And next up will be level 21. 21 is the Octo Striker stage of this game and has a trick called Sponge Jump, where essentially we're hopping from the very corner of one of the sponges in the stage, and it'll just barely let us skip an intended path, and it saves about 6 seconds. Very precise though. If you mess it up, you lose a few seconds extra to the 6 you would have saved. So you really just don't want to mess it up. Also right here, you really don't want to fall down there because that twinnicle is on you and it will shoot and absolutely destroy you as you're climbing. So the backup is to throw a burst bomb at your feet. It'll scare them enough that you can actually just slip by. If you don't do that, which I've done before, you will die there. And it's very annoying. Here's sponge jump, barely able to make it there. Struggling a little bit with the ledge snaps, but get some snappy kills in the bombers, and we gotta go places because best possible time is just not looking so nice. I overcorrected that Zuka shot, but that's okay. Struggling in this 21, dude. Holy. I have 6 seconds left to play to my sub to get this PB. Holy, what did I do in late game? This has been crazy. Because there's still over 20 minutes left in this run. Did I just have the worst World 4 of all time that absolutely manifested and inspired? Like, okay. Manifesting. Time to be inspirational. Anyways, here's Octoma. Octoma is a bit of a silly billy. You don't get to see this guy much because, you know, being the boss of World 4 and whatnot. So here's the whole deal. He's got all these teeth. You take out all the teeth and it'll open up his mouth and you'll be able to throw a bomb into it, stun him, and then you can ROT the tentacle. Rinse and repeat 3 times, just like every other boss. And each different phase that you do, Octoma gets stronger and stronger teeth. Take down the tentacle. And there goes Octoma. Make sure you grab your scroll. And there you go. That's your World 4. Now, yeah, I definitely just lost 19 seconds to my PB's World 4 there. So to actually make this a new PB, I really had to do some stuff with World 5. I did not have a lot of leniency, and plus there's RNG in 25 anyway. That can cost you a few seconds out of your control, so you like really gotta turn it up to 11. Not an easy save from here. Nice World 4 skip, man. That was pretty cool. Take this secret path that we throw over to 24. If I could actually do this slope correctly in either my any percent or all scroll PB, dude. I messed it up in both. I'm just realizing this now. That's painful. Anyway. 24. We're going to be making the any percent cycle here. The scroll is slightly out of our way, but it's not like too far. You have a couple seconds of leniency throughout the stage. It's not as free as any percent, but it's not the worst. What's more concerning is that the jump that you have to do to the scroll is actually pretty precise. And if you miss it, you're losing a lot of time. So you get that scroll on that little portion right there that you just have to jump to. Fairly precise, but I do a substrafe to gain a lot of speed and get over there. Then we go across this whole section. Hop around, and this platform's just falling down now for us, which is lovely. Just in time. Then we can do the jump at the end. And that will get us through 24. Not that many stages left now. 26 though. 26 is one of the most interesting stages in All Scrolls because the route that we have to do in All Scrolls compared to any percent is insanely different. Any percent, this stage takes about 50 to 53 seconds. All Scrolls, I think the community goal is a 118. Like, essentially the deal is that, you know, in Salt Spray Rig, you got like the two like very separated spawn points that you would usually spawn as players. You spawn in one, the scroll is in the enemy spawn point. So you have to go all the way over there, and there's Octolings shooting you the whole time, so we need an armor as well to actually make it like reasonably consistent. So we'll do that by grabbing this armor right here. It's already fairly on our path anyway, so it's just worth grabbing. Because this upcoming part is extremely silly. So in that box over there, that is where our scroll is. And there's going to be all these Octolings here shooting at us. It's very easy to get your armor broken there. I just did not take any damage though. That was insanely lucky. Insanely. And there you go. Got out of that tragedy. And now we're going to be heading into level 27. 27 is actually pretty similar to how it is in any percent. This is Black Bully Skate Park once again, except the scroll is on the enemies, or it's kind of like center left, I should say. So you go and grab the key, and then you go to the left side and hop around one of the blocked areas. It's actually cool how you do this movement. So you go and grab this key, right? And usually this area would be blocked off, but you can just burst bomb this wall and scooch on over instead of having to go all the way around. Because that would be slow. And we just can't have that now, can we? And you can... 2 quick ones. Get up there. And then... It's harder to get the manipulation to use the ink balloon here, so I just use the bomb and do it myself. Not really that big of a time loss at all, to be fair. Got a nice gold, which is, you know, I really need that gold right now because running low on time to save. But we got our scroll. And now we're heading over to 25. We're going to unlock 22 on the way with a couple bomb throws here. So what we'll do, go and grab this key, and the scroll for this stage is in a bit of a weird spot. So at the end of this section where that launch pad is, we're actually just going to go around. and that'll lead us to its own deserted island, really, with a couple of flutters on it, and the scroll will be there. It's just kind of hidden launch pad that leads to this little part. Grab our scroll and get on out of here. Keep going. And from here, pretty similar ending at this point. Grab our key and go on. I accidentally threw a Seeker at that geyser. I meant to switch to Burst Bomb there, and it just looked really slow. Thankfully, RNG's got my back, because the sniper is in like one of the best spots it can be. Didn't lose time, just lucky. And since RNG's got my back, 107.11 pace now, and we're in endgame at this point. We got 23 and 22 in Octavio, extremely hard stages left. So let's get going. Starting out with 23. This stage is extremely similar. We literally just have to go slightly off path to grab our scroll here. It doesn't lose a whole lot of time. So a lot of it borrows the exact same movement from any percent. Which we just have to go around here, grab the scroll, and throw a couple burst bomb at these sponges. And that's it. Now we're doing any percent stuff. We use the Inkzuka there to ink up all the sponges, and then make a path for us at the end. And now we're just going to do some burst bomb movement to go through all of this. Fairly simple. That bomb is right there, but if you're moving fast enough, it does not matter. If you're not moving fast enough or don't hit the ledge snap, that bomb will kill you. Then we do a little manipulation here to bait the Octolings into spawning into the correct spots, top left and top right. So it's easy to kill them. Go to the launch pad, finish the stage. Best possible time, 107.12.8. I really need a gold right now, apparently. But I'm going to get one, because this 22 gold is bad, as I'm looking at it. I think Hydra's is like a 149 gold here, and I'm pretty sure this split's a 151 or something, I don't know. But 22, this has actually got a pretty interesting swirl location, and it's going to require some dancing around to go and get it. Grab this Inkzuka for later, and then we'll take out all of these Octoballs. And then spin around for Twinkles. So what we'll do here, it's a little different. We're going to do this Burst Bomb throw to hit up the switch, and then we're going to ink up to this right side. So we can get up here, then we can go around. This is where our scroll is, and we can go back and hop onto this launch pad. And from there, we're looking great. So we'll do our Inkzuka and bomb strats here. And then we can do double burst bomb to go bang bang on these switches. Boom, bang. There you go. And now, just get past these Octoballs. This angle is horrific, but I actually made that work. I can't really safety there because I have like no time to spare at this point. I just gotta go, so no safeties allowed. I get really lucky here with both of these going the correct way that I want them to, and that finishes up the stage for me. A 59.25 out of World 5. The World 5 itself was really good, but this run, Oh, that World 4, dude. That World 4. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. But it's okay. Now we're going to be heading into Octavio. So in Octavio, this is essentially the same as the 80% fight, except there is a scroll in phase 2. It's not that far out of the way, and you can actually do all the same attacks. You just kind of have to hustle a little bit. So what's going to be going down in Octavio? It's probably mentioned before in other submissions. We got to do something called fist skips. Fist skips happen when you are RFGing so fast on the first fist of 2, because Octavio will throw out fists in sets of 2 once we get into phase 2. But if you RFG the first fist so fast, the second one doesn't even come out, and it won't come out until Octavio's finish his knockback animation. And that lets us do extra knockback, but it's a little bit slower. And there's other things we like to call normal cycles, where you hit back the first fist with a slight delay, and then RFG the second one, so it's close to you, and you hit it back quickly. Those are faster, but they do less knockback. So you're basically trying to balance those two different things to do the correct amount of knockback in each phase, so you can do it as fast as possible. That's the goal here. Phase 1's a little different though, because phase 1 only has these single fists, so you're just RFGing. 2 half speed, that's it. And then we have these subwoofers here. These subwoofers we basically play tennis with. You RFG it, hit it back 3 times, and Octavio just bounces them back. Simple. Just don't get hit too many times by those bombers, because they will destroy you. I have died to those bombers there before, I don't want to talk about it. So right here, we're going to do a nice normal. Tap, tap, hit it back, RFG, there you go. The scroll here is in this box on the side, which you could throw a burst bomb to, or not, okay, sure. And then ink to this part, you can get back just in time before this fist comes out, and you can do a RFG, fist skip. Oh, so what happens here? So I dropped my fist skip there. I wasn't fast enough. And what you can do as a backup is something called a cycle skip. It's the same speed as a fist skip, and it works by hitting back the first fist fairly quickly, but delaying the second fist's hit to the ground so that Octavio's machine turns green instead of being red. Therefore, it lets it do more knockback. Other categories have to rely more on cycle skips in this fight. Usually I just only get fist skips, because I'm fairly reliable with my RFGs, but sometimes I'll drop it, and you gotta know how to do the cycles as backups. A good runner, like a truly good Octavio runner, could do fist skips, cycle skips, and really efficient normals. And for a long time I couldn't do cycle skips, like, at all. I was, like, really bad at it. But I've changed since then. Mainly because Squidamiibo trained me. You have to be, like, insanely good at cycle skips for Squidamiibo. There's a slight optimization here. You can kind of bait Octavio around so he's, like, closer to you, and these fists will be nicer to hit back, better angles and whatnot. You can get closer to Octavio, and this angle is just super nice over here. Okay, so there you go. That's our phase 3. Now in phase 4, we're going to be doing something called a fast cycle. It's literally just called phase 4 fast cycle. So what you do here, you only hit back this first fist, and you let the second one hit the ground behind you. What this means is that we did a little less knockback here, and we have to walk past this little barrier. But if we do a good fist skip here on a kind of bad angle that's provided for us, we have to hit back one less fist overall, Octavio resets his animation if you let the second fist hit the ground, so we save a couple seconds as a result. It's a little technical, but it's a nice little time save by just ignoring the first or the second fist of the first set. I don't know what to say. Oh, this Octoball decides to do a little trolling. And then we do a nice normal here, and then... So we picked up this Ingzuka in Phase 4. I didn't talk about the Ingzuka in Phase 3. We picked it up and we used it there because Octavio's far away, right? This time, Phase 4, he's super close. So we just use RFGs here. And we're going to hold on to this Ingzuka because Octavio is going to be super far away again for Phase 5. So it just makes more sense to use it there. So here we go. Phase 5. Start out Phase 5, you need to hit a fist or a cycle skip here. Way easier to do the fist skip. This is a really nice forgiving angle, so it's just way better to do that. You can do a cycle there, but the cycle is like not friendly at all. Because the angle that Octavio is coming in at is just horrible. I've had to do it before on pace. I got a sub 50 in any percent by having to do that cycle skip as a backup, but like, I don't want to talk about it, man. And then we do one more normal here, and Octavio is just far enough back. And then from here, we've saved this Ingzuka for now, and we'll be just finishing out the run. So yeah, this is All Scrolls, slightly longer category, gets to show off more of the game, more movement and whatnot. With a few less tricks and more movement optimizations, that's a priority and focus. One of my personal faves. So thank you for watching, and next off, I gotta do Splatoon All Scrolls submission, so I'll see you there. Peace.